Did the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court just stop an election from being stolen because the election officer was seen cheating on camera? I'm talking about the Chandigarh mayoral polls, which first ended with a candidate in tears, then with a very angry Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and then a visual of the presiding officer doing this. Let me take you through the elections. Now, first of all, BJP's Manoj Sonkar actually won the mayoral election against Aam Aadmi Party's Kuldeep Kumar in Chandigarh by 4 votes, leaving Kumar in tears because he didn't expect to lose. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress were working together for the first time on this election. It was an important election and they were almost assured of winning. This is because there are 36 councillors in the House in Chandigarh, out of which 20 are Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress together, 15 are the BJP, and 1 is Akali Dal. So the Aam Aadmi Party candidate was almost assured of winning. But it did not play out like that. What happened instead was BJP's Manoj Sonkar got 16 votes. The Aam Aadmi Party candidate got 12 votes. What happened to the rest? 8 votes were declared invalid. And this triggered protests from the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress against the presiding authority, this man, Anil Masi. Now, in the videos after the polling, you can see the presiding officer, Anil Masi, leaving the house with the rejected votes in his hand, without, according to the Aam Aadmi Party, showing them to the councillor agent. And Sonkar immediately took his seat and celebrations and ruckus began in that house where the counting was happening. Following the opposition leaders actually levelling allegations of rigging, another video came up showing the returning officer quietly marking ticks on some votes and setting them aside. Yesterday, an even clearer angle has emerged of the same act, now gone completely viral on social media, causing a great deal of surprise among citizens. The Aam Aadmi Party alleges that Anil Masi deliberately scribbled on a few votes, thereby invalidating them and making their party lose. Masi, who was nominated as a councillor, is learnt to have been heading the BJP's Chandigarh minority cell, while speaking to the Wire said the votes were invalid because of the councillor's own mischief. Now, this is what he said, and I'm quoting. He said, "I invited members of the opposition to check all of the votes after counting, but they created a ruckus. They tried to snatch some of the votes, and thanks to Chandigarh's police security, the votes are now in safe custody." He is, however, yet to exactly say what has caused those 8 votes to be invalid. The Aam Aadmi Party then went to court. The High Court has then since put a stay on the results, and the matter was then taken to Supreme Court, where it was heard on Monday. Now, the Supreme Court Chief Justice came down really heavily on Anil Masi after that video was shown to the judges. Referring to that video, the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, said this. He said, "Why is he looking at the camera? He's making a mockery of democracy. The Supreme Court is watching." So what happens next? The court has now ordered that the entire record of that election be kept with the Punjab Haryana High Court Registrar General, including the videos and the ballots. The court has also directed Anil Masi to appear before it on the 19th of February. Now, let's take a quick look at who Anil Masi is. As per media reports, he joined the BJP a few years ago and has been a regular at all party events. In October 2022, he was nominated councillor for Chandigarh Municipal Corporation, and in 2021, he was the General Secretary for the Minority Morcha. He's a member of the BJP, but when appointed as a returning officer for an election, he's expected to conduct himself in an impartial, independent manner, which obviously did not happen in this case. Now, where does that leave us really, and why is this making us all uncomfortable? Our entire democracy, our entire democratic system is based on the idea of free and fair and independent, impartial elections. If there's any evidence that there is a tendency to tamper with votes, and there is a tendency for people who are functioning as returning officers or presiding officers or election commissioners not to really do their job in the spirit of democracy, it should make us all very, very uncomfortable, especially since we're going into a massive election going forward. Now, the opposition has used this to jump on the BJP and say this is an evidence that the BJP likes to tamper with elections. Now, remember, there's another cause for this massive uproar. The government in the center has just given itself the power by changing the laws to appoint election commissioners. Now, election commissioners are those who conduct the elections. Up until recently, an election commissioner was appointed by a three-member team that included the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, the Prime Minister, and the Leader of the Opposition. So it was a three-point sort of table. That law has been changed by the government, and it is now the Prime Minister, one of his own cabinet ministers, so a member of his team, and the Leader of Opposition, which means it's a 2:1 whichever way, effectively giving the government the power to choose election commissioners going into an election, assuming that once they're chosen, that they will function independently and constitutionally in the spirit of their job, unlike in this case, which is why the opposition is saying this is a massive problem. As citizens of any democracy, we need to always be vigilant and make sure that we're guarding that democracy and guarding our right to vote, because once you vote, how that vote is treated is also extremely important.